Ernest Hemingway's The Old Man and the Sea. The man in silence. The sea had not yet woken up. The sky was grey, the sun hadn't yet risen. But the light was already felt in the air. The shore was quiet, only the waves were gently crashing, as if not to wake anyone. The old man stood by the boat. His hands were hard, cracked, scarred. Each scar was a mark of war. He had lost for a very long time. 84 days. Not a single fish. This is not just bad luck. This is the silence that eats a person from the inside. He breathed slowly. He inhaled the smell of the sea. Today, he didn't finish. Because there was another voice inside him. It will not happen again. The old man closed his eyes. I'm not finished yet. He lowered the boat into the water. His movements were not slow, it was clear. The man was not broken, but something inside had already cracked. The sea is not an enemy. The boat was cutting through the water. Each stroke of the oar was heavy, but there was a rhythm. The old man wasn't alone. With him, there were thoughts. Why me? Silence. Why me again? He looked up the sky. No answer. Then he looked at the sea. The waves were moving slowly. The sea was not against him, but it was not helping either. You, he said in a low voice, you are like a woman. He did not laugh. It was not a joke. Sometimes you give, sometimes you take. The boat was moving away. The shore was disappearing. Looking back was no use now. The old man threw the ropes into the water, each one into the depths. Silence. Waiting. The hardest thing, waiting. Time passed. Nothing. Only the beating of the heart. And then the rope slowly pulled. The old man froze. He couldn't even breathe. Finally! But he didn't pull the rope. No. He waited. Because this was no ordinary fish. This was a test. An invisible opponent. The rope pulled again. Not slowly this time. There was a weight coming from the depths. The old woman put his hand firmly on the rope. The rope cut his palm. The pain came immediately, but he didn't pull his hand. Big! He finished the word under his breath. This was no ordinary fish. This was strength. This was a test. This was judgment. The boat slowly moved forward. The old man was not pulling. The fish was pulling him. This is the worst case scenario. No control. There is only endurance. I know you, he whispered to the sea. You are testing me. Silence. The sun came out. It was hot. Sweat poured down his face. His hands turned red. The thread was digging into his flesh, but he didn't let go. If I let go, silence, I will lose myself. The boat was still being pulled. Hours passed. No one, no help, only him, and something invisible. And at that moment, the rope suddenly pulled deeper. The old man fell forward and fell. His eyes widened. This is just the beginning. The border. Night fell. The sea darkened. The sky was filled with stars, but there was no beauty. There was only struggle here. The old man was still holding the rope. His hands were no longer feeling. The pain had already passed. This is bad. Because when the pain goes away, it means the body is giving up. No, he shook his head. I'm still alive. The rope pulled again. The old man's shoulders tightened. His muscles seemed to be screaming, but he was silent. Real pain is silent. Why don't you come out? Silence. Look! Nothing. Only water. Only darkness. And another voice inside. You will lose. The old man closed his eyes. I have already lost many. Silence. But this time, he opened his eyes. I will not finish. Dawn approached. The light slowly returned. And finally, the water moved. The old man saw. It was bigger. No, it was much bigger. The fish came to the surface of the water. The sunlight refracted on its body. This was no ordinary hunt. This was a duel between two creatures, and neither was going to turn back. Price. The old man was tired, but his eyes were still alive. The fish began to circle, slowly, a large circle. This was a sign that the end was near. The old man pulled the line. He moved. Again. His hands were bloody. He was breathing heavily. Now, the fish surfaced again. This time, close, very close. The old man gathered all his strength. This was the final blow. He struck. The water was stained with blood. Silence. And then the fish stopped moving. He swallowed. But the silence was different. This was not the silence of the victory. This was the emptiness. The old man looked at the fish. Big, beautiful, and dead. I respect you. Silence. But I killed you. The boat headed back. But the sea was not over yet. Blood spread into the water. And below, something woke up. A shadow moved underwater. Another one. Another one. Sharks. The old man slowly closed his eyes. So, the prize begins now.